You are preparing a presentation for a science project on animal habits. You found some interesting information in the article below and are now making your outline. Animal sleep patterns. If you ever spend all day at home, you might notice that your pet cat sleeps a lot during the day and is quite active in the evening and early morning. Humans, on the other hand, are awake during most of the daylight and evening hours and then sleep for a long time at night. Sleep is essential for animals' physical and mental health and for their bodies to function efficiently. For animals with brains and central nervous systems, sleep is generally defined as an altered state of consciousness characterized by specific body positions, closed eyes, a general decrease in physical activity, and slower response rates. Sleep also gives the brain neurons a chance to reset and the body becomes energized. Most creatures experience states of sleep, but the types and patterns differ from species to species. Different sleep patterns over a 24-hour cycle have been identified in various types of animals. 3 common patterns are called monophasic, biphasic, and polyphasic. Monophasic sleep, experienced by humans and many larger animals, happens when one is awake and active for many hours, and then one sleeps for an extended period. Some birds, insects, and mammals utilize a kind of biphasic sleep, where the animal has 2 waking and sleeping times, with one sleep being long and the other like a nap. Dogs and cats are polyphasic, meaning they have 4 to 6 sleeping and waking periods throughout the day. There are variations in sleep patterns depending on the animal's size, physical needs, and diet. Smaller animals such as squirrels or mice tend to use up their energy by moving quickly and frequently. This results in the need to sleep more often but for shorter periods of time. Lions are carnivorous animals and have longer sleeping times because their food sources satisfy their hunger for longer periods. Large herbivores like wild horses, on the other hand, sleep less than meat-eating animals because their plant-based diet has relatively few calories, resulting in the need to spend most of their time searching for food. Safety is another variable in sleep patterns. Animals that can create safe spaces tend to enjoy longer periods of sleep, but those that might need to stay alert sleep less. Apes sleep on platforms, high above the jungle floor, which keep them away from attackers. Some smaller animals such as rabbits create shelters by digging into the ground where it is difficult for predators to find them. As a result, they feel safer and sleep longer. In contrast, elephants often travel long distances and may feel exposed to danger from hunters or other animals, contributing to their short sleeping times. The animal sleep patterns discussed so far tend to be typical. A pattern that may be less easily noticed in our daily lives is called unihemispheric sleep. In this type of sleep, some animals traveling in a group keep one eye open. While one side of the animal's brain sleeps, the other side stays awake and alert to its surroundings. In this way, the animal can experience the reviving effects of sleep while also watching out for threats. This unihemispheric sleep occurs in some bird species when they are flying long distances in groups. Birds flying at the outer edge of the group use this type of sleep to help protect the other members that sleep with both eyes closed. Besides the types of sleep explained above, there are patterns that can be considered to be sleep-like activities. Hibernation, which can be observed in black bears, is a long, inactive period when food is scarce or the weather is severe. During this time, the animal's body temperature drops, its heart rate and breathing slow down, and it may appear dead. Creatures such as jellyfish that have no central nervous system also experience times of extreme relaxation where they remain in a less responsive state. As shown above, sleep plays an important role in the lives of animals and it is much more complex than simply closing the eyes. A university professor, the exploration of space requires a lot of research time and money. All this research has led to many new inventions and boosted humanity's scientific and technical knowledge. While laser eye surgery, solar cells, freeze-dried food, and wireless headsets are just a few examples that have come out of space research. Perhaps the invention that has proven the most useful in modern life is the computer mouse. This was developed in the 1960s on a NASA research project. Christina Company CEO. Much space exploration relies on international cooperation, a good example being the International Space Station, launched in 1998. The main reasons for this cooperation are to share the huge costs involved and to improve national prestige. More recently, private companies have begun exploring space, though mostly for commercial reasons. In the future, it is possible that countries or corporations will try to colonize parts of the Moon or Mars. While financial cooperation and raising prestige are welcome, improper commercial or military use of outer space is not. Millennialist, as the famous physicist Stephen Hawking once said, it is probably dangerous to broadcast into deep space evidence of the existence of humans here on Earth. If our nearest intelligent aliens are anything like us, then they will seek to conquer Earth and humanity. For me, this is the greatest threat associated with space exploration. The deeper into space we travel, the greater the likelihood Earth will be discovered by an aggressive alien civilization. Naomi Lawyer. Historically, jobs working at sea were likely the least safe, with the highest rates of death in the workplace. In modern times, space is no different, if not worse. Once we are just 1,000 meters or so above the surface of the Earth, there is little oxygen and the temperature is too low for human survival. Since the first person went into space in 1961, of 652 astronauts have died on the job, a fatality rate of 2.9. No other business or industry would tolerate such a high level of danger. Why should the space industry? Victor financial analyst. Space exploration has contributed hugely to economic growth. In the USA, NASA provided work for nearly 340,000 people in 2021, mostly at above average salaries. And it is estimated that it has contributed $7.7 billion in taxes to the US government. Space is also being explored by other countries, such as China, India, Japan, and Russia. In the future, further economic growth will be ensured by more private firms entering the space race and by the rise of space tourism, space mining, space colonization, and space militarization. Source: although you may not make a direct connection between space exploration and environmental problems, a connection does exist. First, the CO2 emissions of spacecraft are not insignificant. It is estimated that one spacecraft launch emits 200-300 tons of CO2 and other harmful gases into the Earth's atmosphere. More and more spacecraft are being sent into space, which is damaging for the Earth. The contribution to the greenhouse effect of these crafts' CO2 emissions is causing the Earth's temperature to rise. Second, space exploration is damaging the thermospheric space environment close to the Earth. The quantity of space debris, the junked parts of spacecraft, or artificial satellites, is on the rise. NASA estimates that, in the thermosphere, there are currently around 230,000 pieces of space debris which are larger than a softball and travel at speeds of up to 28,000 kilometers per hour. This poses a risk to future spaceflight, and may even be a potential obstacle to astronomical observation. Source: B. Space exploration is getting more and more costly. In 2022 it was reported that the total amount of money spent by all the governments around the world was more than $100 billion. The graph below compares this cost with the annual budgets, estimated by international institutions, that would be required to address some of the world's most important issues.